112 years ago, the UP Board of Regents had a vision to develop their true firstborn college that will spearhead national development through agriculture. At the foot of Mount Makiling, Edwin B. Copeland, together with 7 faculty and 12 students, embarked on the journey to create the UP College of Agriculture, or UPCA. Through its 112 years of existence, the college has produced over 1,000 technologies and variety of plants and animals, 9 national scientists, over 30 outstanding young scientists, and more than 18,000 graduates contributing to agricultural development. UPCA, now College of Agriculture and Food Science, or CAFS, has been continuously contributing to nation building through its instruction, research, and extension function. A mere 10 years after establishment, the college was able to start breeding works with the production of sugarcane varieties with high productivity and resistance to Fiji and mosaic disease. In the 1920s, the importance of agriculture was intensified and UPCA was recognized as neighboring countries began sending their students to Los Baños because of the high quality of education. In the 1930s, breeds with superior characteristics such as the Burkhala pig, Los Baños Cantonese chicken, and filament cattle were developed. The 1960s was a fruitful decade for research. Makapuno, a coconut cultivar often made into a dessert, was pioneered and perfected. Meanwhile, the Dairy Training and Research Institute was the first in the country to freeze buffalo semen, paving the way for artificial insemination of local carabaos. Along with the establishment of UPLB in the 70s, the college received the prestigious Ramon Magsaysay Award for International Understanding, Asia's counterpart for the Nobel Peace Prize. In the same decade, the C4 plants were developed. The soil test kits were produced in support of the Masagana 99 program, and the mango induction technique was introduced. Continuing the production of quality research outputs in the 1980s, techniques to minimize post-harvest losses, the accelerated fish sauce manufacturing process, and the rapid test kit for the detection of pesticide residue on vegetables were developed. The 1990s saw many new varieties across species or crop types, including Sinta papaya, the first Philippine-bred hybrid, UPLB Gold, a durian variety, and Doña Amelita, a musaenda named after the wife of former President Fidel Ramos. The award-winning National Corn-Based Farmer Scientist RDE Training Program, or FSTP, was also established around this time and still remains as one of the university's primary extension programs. In the field of instruction, the book titled Integrating Sustainable Agriculture in the BSA Curriculum, the UPLB College of Agriculture Experience, was published in 1999. At present, the College of Agriculture and Food Science, or CAFS, continues to be the premier institution of higher learning in agriculture and food science, and remains committed to nation building through its instruction, research, and extension programs. In order to produce the best graduates, all of our courses are outcomes-based education, and continuous improvement of the curriculum is being practiced to meet the challenges of the 21st century. As testament of excellence, CAFS is constantly recognized by different organizations. In research, we continue to implement relevant studies with focus on the 12 priority commodities to address food security. Moreover, Technologies are constantly developed to aid in responsible food production. Supplementing these are extension activities to disseminate the knowledge generated to improve food productivity and livelihood of the people. We believe that present technologies will future-proof our food systems. Some of our notable developments are IDTech, Coraginam, Plant Health and Pest Clinic, Pest Management Tools and Techniques, Smarter Pest Identification Technology or SPITech, Snap Hydroponics, Drone Technology, Rapid Immunofilter Assay for Virus Indexing, Nanofertilizers Fertigrow, Hormogrow, Nanobiosensors, Biochar. We at the College of Agriculture and Food Science will continue to promote and nurture a culture with innovative yet conscientious minds and cutting-edge skills to lead and serve the country and the region. We are one college with one goal towards sustainable food systems.
Good afternoon! Welcome to the second episode of the Rice Science and Technology Webinar Series Part 2. Magandang hapon po sa mga kasama namin dito sa Zoom, sa YouTube at Facebook page ng CAFS UP Los Baños. This webinar is conducted by the College of Agriculture and Food Science in partnership with Philippine Rice Research Institute or PhilRice. Ako po si Claire Palunday Sandro from the Institute of Crop Science. So before we proceed, let me first give our house rules for the smooth flow of our webinar. For the Zoom panelists, may we request to keep your microphones muted at all times, except if called or requested. For our Zoom participants during Q&A, kindly use the chat box or raise your hand to be recognized. And for Facebook and YouTube viewers, use the comment section. So based sa ating pre-registration, we have 1,345 pre-registered participants. So we hope na andito po kayong lahat watching in different social media platforms coming from state universities, private companies, LGUs, DARFOs, different government agencies, students, and farmers. Good afternoon po sa inyong lahat. And again, welcome po sa inyo. So sa ating participants, let's have a quick simple survey dahil po tungkol sa rice ang ating webinar series. May I request everyone para po ito sa audience participation. Let's go to menti.com and write the code menti.com. Kita niyo pa sa screen. And kindly write the code 86302145 at sagutin ang tanong na, ano ang masarap na merienda na gawa sa bigas? Ayan, alam ko po mahilig ang Pinoy sa kakanin. So, punta po tayo sa menti.com at let's use the code 80302145 at sagutin po ang tanong na, ano ang masarap na merienda na gawa sa bigas. Ayan. So, I think may mga pumapasok na nasagot. So, let me share my screen. Tingnan natin kung ano ang pinaka-paborito ng lahat ng ating participants. Pinaka. Yan. Pag-ibig ko na ayaw niya, parang iba ata ang sagot na yun sa tanong. Ayan, so mukhang ang pinakamadami po ay suman at pumapangalawa ang biko. I think ang biko at sinukmani ay pareho, depende ata kung nasa ang lugar ka, no? Then, ayan, pumapasok pa po yung ibang sagot. Bibingkang gatas. Patupat. Ay, hindi ako familiar sa patupat. Ayan, baka may nakakaalam sa inyo. Ano yan? Lugaw with egg. Yun. Bibingka. Basta daw di mahal na bigas. Ayan. Butche. Ano pa ba yung mga nakalagay dyan? Palitaw, maha. Bilo-bilo. Ayan. So, thank you for participating in our very short icebreaker. Mukhang ang lamang po talaga ay, ayan, gumagalaw pa siya. Marami pang sumasagot. Sige lang po, para po may konting audience participation. Kasi ang sunod po na audience participation ay Q&A na. Ayan. So mukhang ang nananalo ay Suman, Biko, Bibingka, Sinukmani, medyo lutang din ang lugaw. Ayan. So thank you very much sa inyong participation. Kung gusto pa niyong maglagay ng sagot, sige po, tuloy-tuloy lang po yan. Ayun. So, okay. So sa ating pong pilot episode of the part 2 of our webinar series, we had Mr. Leonardo V. Marquez na ibinahagi sa atin ang topic na ang title ay In Focus, Rice Crop Health Monitoring and Assessment. Ating pong natunghayan kung paano ang tamang pamamaraan ng pagmamonitor and assessment for the different types of pests na ginagamit sa pest and disease risk in identification management or mas kilala po sa PRIME para po sa mga palayan. Ngayong hapon naman po ay matutunghayan na naman natin ng isang informative na webinar about a satellite-based rice monitoring system. So to formally open the program, let us hear a message from the Director of the Institute of Crop Science, College of Agriculture and Food Science, UP Los Baños. Let's all welcome Dr. Consorcia E. Reaño. Ma'am?
Okay, magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. Magandang hapon sa 371 participants, webinar participants, at still growing yan. So magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. Ako po si Consorcia Reaño from the Institute of Crop Science o iCrops, welcoming you to, sabi nga po ay part 2 of the CROPS webinar series featuring the rice science and technology. So nandun na po tayo sa second episode. Once again, before that, I'd like to commend the people behind this webinar series, ang ating CAPS Extension Committee, for really bringing new and novel topics, underscoring the advances at yung dynamism ng agriculture of today. So the second episode of the Rice Science and Technology webinar series features PRISM. So as early as 2012, somewhere mga ganong time, naririnig na natin yung PRISM. No? So it is claimed to be the first satellite-based rice monitoring system in Southeast Asia. So we are very fortunate to have as resource person, none other than the PRISM unit head, and also the head of the Agronomy, Soils, and Plant Physiology Division of PhilRice, where PRISM is lodged, Mr. Jovino L. De Dios. As an information system, users and stakeholders expect PRISM to provide updated information on rice production. As one from the academe, I see the PRISM as a showcase of the integration of knowledge in crop science and allied fields, and advances in advanced technologies such as remote sensing, GIS, crop modeling, mga application ng computer science, which have found application sa field of crop science. So it is with technologies such as PRISM that we can change the way many people look at agriculture. So especially yung ating youth. It also serves as a decision support system for farmers, policymakers, industry players, at iba pang mga stakeholders. Real-time and quick damage assessment can be readily done with an information system like PRISM. So efficient data collection to give timely yield estimates, making it possible for us to make reliable forecast as to production, especially kung may mga disaster. So really, PRISM will actually be a good tool, no, for both government as well as yung nasa academe like us, ano. At syempre, yung farmers. So farmers talaga yung target, ano. So syempre, ang gusto natin as farmers o kahit hindi ka farmer, gusto mo yung early warning system. And I think PRISM will really play its role as a component of early warning system, especially sa rice production. So sana meron din tayong ganito sa ibang crops. How I wish na yung ibang crops, meron din mga information system like your PRISM. So siguro mas ano natin, hindi na ako magtatagal without much ado. So ang atin pong siguro uumpisa na natin at I'd like to welcome again. So kanina 372 yung ating webinar participants. So ngayon 411 na siya. So kaya welcome po sa ating CAPS webinar series part 2, Rice Science and Technologies. So episode 2, PRISM. Okay? Magandang umaga po. So 440 na tayo and counting. So magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. At sana it will be a very fruitful afternoon for all of us. So, and I encourage lahat ng stakeholders. Alam ko, nakikita ko may mga estudyante, may mga sa DA officials to raise yung mga questions, especially with nandyan yung authority ng PRISM. So magandang umaga po or magandang hapon po sa ating lahat.
Thank you, Dr. Angel. Mas madami pa, ma'am, kasi we still have viewers from Facebook page ng CAPS and also shared in different institutes page, no? And nakaka-encourage yung sinabi ni ma'am. So I pray, I hope na tayo pong lahat ay maging attentive kasi sabi nga niya, it's a good tool. And once we are helping each other, LGUs, academe, mga farmers, ay mas magbe-benefit po tayong lahat. So now, may I request all the panelists to open your videos? So let's have a group photo to be facilitated by Miss Rachel from CAPS. May I request everyone from the Zoom, all the panelists, kindly open your cams. Okay, Rachel, are you ready to take a screenshot?
Okay po, ma'am. Ready po. Ready, 1, 2, 3, smile. Isa pa po. 1, 2, 3, smile. Thank you po.
Thank you, everyone. So let me introduce to everyone now our speaker. Our speaker is known as Jovi by his peers. He is the unit head of the Philippine Rice Information System and the division head of Agronomy, Soils, and Physiology Division of Peer Rice. Currently, he holds a position as Supervising Science Research Specialist. To give us the webinar titled PRISM, Philippine Rice Information System, the first nationwide satellite-based rice monitoring system in Southeast Asia. Let us all give a round of applause for Mr. Jovino L. De Jos. Sir? Good afternoon, Sir Jovi.
Yes, good afternoon.
I think Sir Jovi has a pre-recorded presentation. Kindly play it, Arthur. Thank you. Sir Jovi, while waiting, meron po kayong gustong isabihin sa ating mga participants to welcome them on your topic for this afternoon?
Yes, good afternoon to all, to everyone who are attending this seminar series. So, ikinagagala ko po at nagkakaroon tayo ng pagkakataon upang ipabatid sa inyo na meron tayong isang sabihin na natin state-of-the-art rice production monitoring system na ginagamitan natin ng mga cutting-edge technologies like yung Earth observation satellites, ng crop modeling, at saka of course yung geographic information system. And we're also using online platforms to collect data from the field. These field data are being collaborated with the satellite information that we gathered para ma-assess natin kung gaano ba ka-accurate ang ating mga results. Kaya kung ready na yung na-prepare ko na presentation. Okay. So thank you very much. Mabuhay! I'm Jovino de Dios, the current unit head of the Philippine Rice Information System or PRISM, and concurrently, I'm the division head of Agronomy, Soils, and Plant Physiology Division, which the PRISM Lodge. So now I will present the Philippine Information System. This is a rice monitoring system that can capture ground information nationwide, and most updated information are being collected. PRISM uses several technologies like remote sensing, the rice crop simulation model, and GIS to capture and present current rice information. PRISM was developed with the effort of several agencies like, of course, the Philippine Rice Research Institute, the International Rice Research Institute, and other collaborators like universities and DA regional field offices nationwide. PRISM was developed from 2012 up to 2018 with the funding from the Bureau of Agricultural Research. PRISM vision, mission, and objectives are so aligned with the DA Field Rice, which is to serve the rice farming communities and help to make us rice self-sufficient by providing the updated information at the right time and at the right clients. The core activities of PRISM is being implemented by 5 teams. Number 1, the mapping team, the yield team, damage assessment team, field monitoring team, and IT infrastructure team. With the advent of modern cutting-edge technology and digital transformation on all aspects, PRISM taps remote sensing to produce unbiased information on rice area planted, nationwide coverage, and when the rice planting was occurred. Satellite images are being captured every 12 days interval in several tracks, which are the vertical strips in blue and red. These are the tracks of satellite capturing for the images. And it takes around 8 to 10 days to cover the entire Philippines. SAR, or Synthetic Aperture Radar Satellite Image, represents the amount of backscatter pixel by pixel depending on the condition of the field from land preparation, transplanting, and crop growing. By capturing the image of the same area several times in a cropping season, a rice signature is being formed. This rice signature is being used to identify where rice is planted in a pixel base to generate the rice area planted map. This slide shows the whole process from remote sensing to data assimilation to data validation with a ground truth to generation of rice area planted and planting date in a map form. SAR technology can also detect the amount of vegetation buildup, which represents crop growth in an area via multi-temporal image analysis. This data is being fed to a rice crop growth simulation model to estimate rice yield. Since the data being generated is in pixel form, yield estimates can also presented in a map form. Through this model that uses leaf area index as vegetation coefficient from remote sensing, genetics coefficients, crop management, crop growth and development parameters, weather and soil data, simulated yield can be generated. Rice yield and rice area harvested can be used to estimate rice production. This slide shows how the factors for yield and production estimation interacts to produce output. The important inputs are the leaf area index from remote sensing, rice area, and start of season to produce rice yield and production estimates. Since satellite aperture radar satellite can detect the presence of surface water and map where flooding occurred during the intense rainfall and presence of flooding event detected in map forms in rice areas planted, PRISM can detect the presence of map during the crop growth duration of the rice area production. This slide shows how flood and drought can be detected. SAR and optical satellite images can be used to detect flood and drought events with some ground validation to produce some advisories on the event of flood or drought. These are some field activities on assessing the flood and drought occurrence. This slide shows how the ground truthing is being done. Another activity is the field monitoring. In satellite remote sensing, some ground truth observations are being used to refine and validate data. Several agronomic and demographic information from georeferenced, predetermined, and random points are collected using smartphone-based ground survey. This data is being fed to a database server where remote sensing expert and crop simulation modeler can use. So this is the systematic process of ground data collection, transmission, organization, storage, and utilization. Ground truth data are being collected from geocoded validation points and monitoring field nationwide by data collector from RFOs or regional field offices, the PLGUs or provincial local government units, and MLGUs or municipal government units. The same ground information are being collected for both wet and dry season. This is the validation points and monitoring fields monitored during the second semester validation. This slide shows the example of mobile phone-based monitoring survey. This helps the data collector in collecting field informations to be fed to the PRISM database servers. This shows some activities during the field monitoring or ground truth validation that collects data to be used by remote sensing and crop modeling. Aside from those activities, PRISM continuously improves its processes, manpower, and IT infrastructure for more improved operation that can cater emerging needs and future challenges. We have conducted field protocol and identification trainings, damage assessment trainings, rice area mapping and remote sensing trainings, or workshop, and ICT-based and management trainings. They show some documentation on the activities described above. Now, for the major outputs of PRISM, number 1 is rice area planted. Number 2 is rice planting dates. Number 3 is rice yield and production estimates. And the assessment of rice areas affected by flood and drought. Aside from these major outputs, PRISM also collaborates with the DA or Department of Agriculture to collect rice price nationwide. One of the major output of PRISM is the information on rice area planted and planting dates in the map form. This color-coded map has a clear resolution up to municipal level, and it is being presented per island provinces like Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. The same information for the second season is being collected and presented. Maps are being produced every cropping season, but the tabulated rice area planted detected is produced monthly. This shows rice area planted by region from 2020 to 2021, and 3 regions with significant wide area is presented. This is Region 3, Region 2, and one region in the Visayas area, Western Visayas. The same information is being produced during the second season. Rice yield estimates is one of the important major output of PRISM. These data are being presented in map form, graphs, and tables. This slide shows the 4 classes of rice yield nationwide and its distribution. The same data, but this is for the wet season or second semester. We also present rice yield and production data nationwide or in annual estimate, which is average of wet and dry season. This slide shows the simulated rice production by region from 2020 to 2022. This shows also that Central Luzon has the highest rice production from 2020 to 2022, followed by Region 2. During the second season, again, Region 3 is the highest, followed by Region 2, and almost the same with Region 1. So, this slide shows at national level, both from wet and dry season, from 2020 to 2022. When there is typhoon forecast by Pag-asa, PRISM prepares the rice area planted, planting dates, and estimated crop growth stage from areas along the typhoon path or ahead. When there is typhoon forecast by Pag-asa, PRISM prepares the rice area planted, planting dates, and estimated crop growth stages from areas along the typhoon path or ahead. This is to give some information on the intensity of possible damage, generally during typhoon and ulit. When there is typhoon forecast by Pag-asa, PRISM prepares the rice area planted, planting dates, and estimated crop growth stage from areas along the typhoon path. This is to give some information on the intensity of possible damage, generally during the typhoon and with intense flooding event. The most affected area are newly transplanted or direct seeded, and those at budding, flowering to harvesting stages. This map shows the flood location, the areas where rice are in vegetative, reproductive, ripening stages, including those areas largely harvested. PRISM supports other projects such as Rice Competitiveness Enhancement Fund or RCEF in its efficient strategic seed distribution and proper placement of interventions. It also supports the development of production supply outlook for the country to assess the rice security level. The damage assessment and reports aid Department of Agriculture in providing advisories to minimize losses, and PRISM helps in developing early warning systems. The damage assessment reports of PRISM aids the Department of Agriculture in providing advisories to minimize losses in the provision of quick interventions down to the municipal level, and PRISM helps in developing early warning, and it is that can be basis for risk reduction and mitigation. For client relations, PRISM has 3,869 users and 2,678 followers. And we have different types of audience like academe, policymakers, research and development sectors, and private sectors. This data shows the amount of requests and its distribution from 2019 to February 2023. And the pie chart shows the delivered data products from 2019 to 2023. All the information being served by PRISM can be accessed through our website. We have two modes of requests. Those are readily available from the website, can be directly downloaded. Just register and log in and browse our website to download some available information. For informations that are not readily available, like very specific and very large amount of data, you can use the info live as projected in the screen. Also, the method of acquisition are being projected. Generally, you can also use several means of contacting us as presented in the slides. With that, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sir Jovi, for that very clear and informative presentation. So, napakalaking bagay po ng PRISM, especially sa early warning sign. No? So, PRISM can help us a lot when it comes to rice production. It can be used in, sabi nga ni Sir, detecting rice area planted, rice yield and product estimation, tapos yung assessment ng effect ng flood or drought, tapos field monitoring, and even through PRISM projects, continuous yung capacity building and infrastructure maintenance. So, thank you, sir. Again, we will now proceed with the open forum. Ang dami pong nagchat-chat at marami din pong mga tanong regarding sa ating PowerPoint presentation. We will not be giving the PowerPoint presentation, but this webinar is available po sa CAF's Facebook page. So nandun naman po ito, it is live and it will be available for viewing. So for our Q&A, to the participants in Zoom, you may now post your questions on the Q&A chat box. Nakikita niyo po yun sa baba. And if you are watching from YouTube or Facebook, kindly send your questions through the comment section. So while waiting po, may I request everyone habang nag-iisip po kayo ng tanong to fill in the attendance sheet which is given sa chat box and comment section. And for the queries regarding the CPD points, ito po ang aming reminder. After pa po ng webinar series, makukuha ang certificate with CPD points. So, yung certificate po na binibigay sa inyo ngayon ay for your attendance or participation po. So, dapat po may attendance and evaluation every episode para ma-count po yun as one CPD point. So, if you will be attending 3 webinar episodes, so 3 CPD points po yung makukuha ninyo. So kindly make sure po na tama ang email address na ilalagay dahil automatically generated po ang e-certificate from answering the evaluation form. So evaluation forms QR code and link will be given later po after po ng ating webinar. So Sir Jovi, may I invite you again to the Zoom space and to moderate our Q&A, let me call in Dr. Lenny Kiachon Baiza, ICRAP's Assistant Professor and also member of the UPLB Rice Varietal Improvement Team. Dr. Baiza?
Hello, good afternoon po. So thank you again, sir, for that wonderful seminar about PRISM that educates everyone in this Zoom space about the utility of this particular program developed by CGIAR. And so while we're waiting for other questions, I have one question here. Are you using the Diwata satellites for your data?
Yeah, good afternoon and thank you again to everyone. Yes, tanong kung ginagamit natin ang Diwata. Actually, ang ginagamit po natin dito yung synthetic aperture radar o radar remote sensing dahil alam natin sa rice production hindi pwedeng gamitin yung optical o yung optical kasi ay kapag nagkaroon na ng clouds hindi mo na makikita yung mga rice lands behind the clouds, kaya yung radar ang ginagamit natin. Tumatagos yung radar at makikita niya yung ano ang nangyayari doon sa grounds. So, kaya siguro ang Diwata kung ito man ay optical ay maaaring iba yung use niya. Pangalawa po, dito sa ating multi-temporal method ng remote sensing to monitor craft development on the grounds, dapat ay very specific at very accurate yung kanyang revisit, yung path niya. Every time na dumaan siya sa Pilipinas, kung saan yung pixel na tinamaan niya ay ganun din lagi. So nagkaroon na rin kami ng iba-ibang satellite na ginamit, pero maliban dito sa Central meron din pero mga commercially available. Additional information po ito, yung satellite image na ginagamit natin galing sa Sentinel-1 ay libre po natin na acquire ito. Available for public po ito. Pwede i-download ng kahit na sino. Just register and get the satellites. Kaya lang ma-roll yan, kailangan parang i-process. So yun ang ginagamit ng PRISM. Pinaprocess po natin yung mga free satellite images na yun. Using our software na yung RISE Mapscape na dinevelop din ng aming collaborators na SARMAP sa Switzerland.
Okay, thank you, sir. In connection with that, we have another question. So, Sir Ronel Roberto is asking if it is using real-time data from some satellite images, and is it updated regularly and how often?
Yung update po regular, pero yung real-time, sinasabi namin near real-time to. Kasi before we can produce updates, for example, we have to wait at least three passes ng satellite. Kasi gaya ng sinabi ko dito, multi-temporal. Kung ma-recall nyo yung shape ng rise signature kanina, actually ang minomonitor nun yung situation on the ground, depende sa presence or absence ng water at the land preparation. Tapos magkakaroon siya ng vegetative build-up para ma-separate po yung signature na yun doon sa ibang crops. Kasi sa lahat ng crops ay rice lang yung may ganitong pattern. Maaring dry land siya, ipa-flood mo siya, then after flooding magkakaroon ng vegetation build-up. Then yung kanyang crop duration around 120 up to 140 days, mga ganon. So yan yung unique sa rice, kaya compared sa ibang crops, using a multi-temporal process ng remote sensing ay mas accurate o mas madali ma-detect po yung rice crop. Kaya lang sa ganong situation, ang challenge po natin ngayon sa mga remote sensing experts using SAR, hanggang ngayon ay medyo napakahirap i-detect yung upland rice. Kaya kung alam nyo na pag upland rice, wala po siyang agronomic flooding before the crop establishment. Kaya mahirap siyang i-segregate. Hanggang ngayon, pinipilit po ng mga remote sensing experts namin sa PRISM na paano natin ma-detect yung upland rice. Pero yun hong rain-fed or irrigated rice, basta lowland culture siya, yan ho yung natidetect ng PRISM.
Okay, sir. So another question here, which is interrelated from Sir Geoffrey, Ma'am Crisanta Bueno, and Sir Arjun Duta. They're asking about the accuracy of the technology or how near is it to the actual rice yield po?
Ang average accuracy po natin, nasa 90 to 95% accuracy. So ayon ho doon sa review ng literature, using remote sensing, ang accepted accuracy ay 85% lang, accepted na siya. Pero dahil sa refinement at saka contribution na din ng ating mga collaborators, ay napapataas po natin hanggang 95% accurate po ito. So ang maganda lang po dito sa remote sensing na crop monitoring at reporting ng mga rice area planted, rice area harvested, parang nawawala yung biasness due to human. Ibig sabihin, what you see is what you get. Kasi yun ang picture eh. Yun ang general picture. Ini-interpret lang using the technologies mentioned in the PRISM.
Okay, thank you, sir. So another question from the attendees is from Mr. Miss Acosta Roberto. Since there is a looming El Nino problem this year, can you share to us the possible use of PRISM for El Nino mitigation?
Yes, by giving advanced information or maybe real-time information, we can help mitigate the effect of El Nino. Kasi as we discussed, PRISM has a technology to detect crop yung crop damage due to El Nino or drought. Dahil basta parang related sa water, medyo makakaya ng prism na i-detect siya.
Okay, thank you, sir. So, I also read that one of the thrust of PRISM is to forecast the pest and diseases outbreaks in the country. But you haven't presented it in your data yet. Can we
Hindi po.
also
Hindi po
include that?
naging objective ng PRISM yung to forecast of disease. Siguro po nasa prime siya.
Okay.
Na-present na po yan sa previous seminar. Yun ang main objective ng prime. They also use remote sensing, maybe drone level. Ganun. So, basta sa ano, currently sa PRISM, yung rice production estimates lang at yung actually yung damage ng pest ay hindi pa siya nagagawa ng PRISM ngayon. Yung damage ng flood ay marami pa rin kaming challenges diyan. Kaya sa ngayon kung mapansin niyo kung anong ang ina-release ng PRISM about flood ay yung potential areas that can be affected by flood. Plus masasabi namin kung anong crop stage nung nagkaroon ng flood event. So yun yung nadi-deliver po ng PRISM ngayon regarding those problems sa rice production.
Thank you, sir. But will this be in your future plans, having pests and diseases incidences?
Continuous po yung field rice at ating mga collaborators sa talagang pagtitingin dito at may mga projects naman na tumututok po dito, especially sa mga pagbigay ng advisories related sa climate abnormalities.
Okay. Another question po, is there a mobile application for PRISM that is accessible to our farmers?
Ang nabanggit po naming mobile application na ginagamit ng PRISM is to collect ground truth data. So automatic po yan na nakaling sa aming server. Yung aming data collector punta lang sa field by using our mobile apps. Doon na niya mismo on the spot if we fill up yung form, then kapag nagkaroon na siya ng internet connection, tatakbo na yung data sa server. But with some data analysis and data corrections, magagamit na po ng PRISM remote sensing experts yung ground truth data. Yun yung apps na pwedeng gamitin ng farmer. Sa PRISM project po ay hindi pa siya nasasakop. Pero sa agronomy may mga applications na rin tayo na talagang nakadesign sa farmer gaya ng MOET apps, LCC apps. That is to assess yung nutrient status naman ng palay. Related po yan sa fertilizer management.
Okay po. So medyo marami po tayong questions. Another question here is, through PRISM, can it also show how much rice areas in the Philippines have been converted into subdivisions or housing residential areas?
Napakagandang tanong po yan, napapanahon. Nung nag-operate po ang PRISM, nasabi ko kanina yung PRISM dinevelop siya from 2014 at natapos siya ng 2018. From 2018, naging fully operational ho yan hanggang ngayon. So along that course line, nakita namin na talagang kailangan sagutin natin yun, yung tanong na yun. Gaano ba kadami yung mga rice areas na nako-convert sa ibang uses. Kaya ho, 2 years ago, nag-propose kami sa DA-BAR na isang project that will formulate a process para ma-detect po natin yung mga rice conversion from rice to other crops. So within this year po, ginagawa ho natin yung question na yan at we hope na matatapos siya within this year at maging integral part po siya ng PRISM. Kapag yan po ay nabuo natin yung process on detecting rice areas converted to other uses, maging integral part po yan ng PRISM. Dahil yun hong project leader po niyan at yung division na mamahala niyan ay agronomy dito po sa agronomy din at yung mga remote sensing expert po na gumagawa nung land use conversion na yan ay tiga PRISM din po. Humingi lang kami ng additional budget to do that, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. So another question from Limuel Preciados from Facebook. Is it also possible to estimate how much nitrogen fertilizer was applied in a lowland irrigated area po?
Through remote sensing, sa ngayon wala pa akong alam na technology para makadetect nun. There might be some procedure in the future.
Okay po. Another one from Dr. Crisanta Bueno. How do they disseminate these mitigations and up to what level for the end user po? I think it's in connection with the mitigation for drought and El Nino incidences.
Ganito po yung operation ng PRISM. Every mayroon ho kaming updates o bagong data, direkta pong i-report namin sa DA Central. Sila po yung aming primary na clients for their guide in executing mitigation procedures. Aside from that, ay inilalagay po rin na lahat ng data available for public doon ho sa aming website. Then gaya nung sinabi ko din kanina sa recorded kanina, may dalawang uri tayo ng data, yung freely available na once na mag-login ka lang sa website namin, you can download. Pero kung meron ka pang mas detalyadong gustong data na meron sa PRISM, meron yung info live through that process po, magre-request kayo doon para i-customize po namin yung data na kailangan nyo. So we will extract from our data bank at i-prepare natin kung ano ang kailangan yung data. So kaya dalawa ang mode ng aming, tatlo ang modes ng aming data sharing, yung direkta po sa Department of Agriculture sa Quezon City, sa national, yun hong readily available sa website, at saka yun hong customized na through formal request po for customization. So meron pa ho ba?
Mukhang nawalan ng connection si Dr. Baiza. So let me continue the Q&A kasi ang dami po sir talaga.
Okay.
Sige po, hanggang andito tayo. Pag-usapan po natin yan.
This is a nice question kasi galing po ito sa farmer. May mobile application na po ba ang PRISM that is accessible po sa ating mga farmers?
Sa PRISM nga po guys, parang nasagot ko na ito. Wala from PRISM, pero from the division, our agronomist and technology division, meron po kaming mga mobile application na available sa farmer. Yun hong LCC app at saka yung MOET apps po. Mobile apps
that
po.
would be the next webinar on June 15.
Yeah.
So watch out for that. Ayan na po si Dr. Baiza. Okay na po. Nag-connect pa po yung audio niya. Sige sir. Ano pa itong wait. Just clarification, is there any issues arising in PRISM with regards to rice field locations, particularly yung mahina po ang signal? Does it affect the efficiency of PRISM po ba?
Pakiulit nga po.
Just a clarification po, is there an issues arising in PRISM with regards to rice field locations, particularly yung mahina po ang signal? Does it affect the efficiency of PRISM po ba?
Kung yun pong binabanggit nila yung signal ng telephone, wala hong relationship yon.
Mhm.
Dahil yun hong ginagamit ho natin yung online signal o signal ng telephone doon sa pagkulik ng ground truth. Yun nga yan sa mobile apps. Pero yun nga yung process na yon,
Kasi na-disconnect po.
during
Sinabi ko na po.
during
Okay, sir,
collection
kasi-
po, pwede niyang i-collect offline. Pero yung data kapag nagkaroon na ng signal, pupunta na po yun sa server namin. Pero yun hong rise location, depende po ito sa nakikita ng satellite. Maaring may mga factors na may nakaka-apekto doon sa accuracy
Mhm.
na sometimes nako-correct at yun nga may mga limitation. Actually ang nagbibigay po ng limitation sa amin ayon sa aming experience, yung rice area na kapag land preparation ay medyo kapos ang tubig. Kasi alam po natin na maraming rented areas na talagang umaasa lang sa mga bagyo. Ganon. Kung walang bagyo, hindi sila makapagtanim. Medyo makapag-prepare sila ng rice planting, pero talagang kapos na kapos. Hindi nagkakaroon ng mahabang panahon na flooded yung rice field nila. At kapag nagkataon po na hindi dumaan yung satellite, noong oras na flooded yung tubig, doon ho kami nagkakaroon ng problema sa pag-detect na kung rice area man yan o hindi. So yan yung isang kasalukuyang tinitingnan namin paano natin mareremedyohan na maging mas sensitive ho yung process ng pre-sale.
Okay, thank you, sir. Ito maganda po tong tanong na ito it's parang proactive na pwedeng gawin ng government. Ang tanong po niya from Acosta Roberto, have your PhilRice present team been tapped by the interagency El Nino preparation kasi projected po na El Nino tayo this year so that you can provide professional advice on how and what to prepare while there is still time?
Actually po sa PhilRice, pinag-uusapan na natin yan. Hindi lang PRISM po. Pagdating sa PhilRice Institute ay hindi lang PRISM yung tumitigil na po kung paano tayo makakatulong sa farmers regarding the upcoming El Nino. So we are ready anytime po pag itatap kami, mayroon kaming may mga preparations na pong ginagawa. Yun na nga, kung sa remote sensing, ang technology na gusto nilang ma-contribute, PRISM can help. Hindi lang ho PRISM, meron ho pa kaming ibang projects na talagang tumututok siya sa ganitong mga problems sa related sa climate change. Ayun hong yung project namin na CSMAP na fully supported po ng DA. Kaya meron na po kami ginagawa. Pero hindi lang ho PRISM yung kumikilos po sa PhilRice.
Ayun, sige. Maganda naman po hand in hand. We are working with the policy makers para po tayo ay maging handa sa mga kung ano man ang mga darating. May tanong po tayo, sir, from Dr. Reaño. How long and how many data points did it take for you to establish the rice signature?
At least 3 visits po ng satellite ay makaka-establish na ng rice signature. Yun hong mas madami o mas maraming frequency ang isama sa analysis ay mas accurate po. Kaya po ang ginagawa ng mga remote sensing experts namin from the start of season, yan, habang dumadami yung let's say na every 12 days yung pass ng satellite, ang aming start of season ay March 15. From March 15, every 12 days yan, na-accumulate na po yung anong tawag din yung data natin para sa multi-temporal analysis. Sabi ho ng remote sensing namin ay at least 3 satellite pass ay medyo mayroon ng maka-establish. Pero mas maraming mas maganda po.
Yes, opo. Okay. Sir, may follow-up pa po si Dr. Reaño. Is it possible for PRISM to be used sa rice production survey ng PSA? Gamit na gamit po ito, sir.
Actually po, nung ginagawa, nung R&D process pa yung PRISM, ang aming reference yung sa PSA, yung data nila. Doon namin tinitingnan kung gaano siya kalayo, gaano siya kalapit. At mayroon ho kaming mga initial talks na with PSA, several times na po. At kung halimbawang gusto nila yung remote sensing process, ang gamitin nila, we are ready po.
Okay, sige po. So parang baliktad na kung dati, you are using PSA data to see how close it is dun sa nakukuha ninyo sa PRISM. Baka pwedeng baliktad naman. Depende sa accuracy, sir, di ba?
Yes po, kasi yun na nga, yung kapag gumamit ka ng remote sensing, you can release earlier. Pangalawa, hindi siya panel survey o hindi siya tinatanong yung farmer. Ito kasi ay kung ano nakita ng satellite picture, yun ang na-interpret. Kaya regarding ho sa when and where the price was planted, ay mas maganda, masasabi natin na mas maganda ang presyo kasi may siyang spatio analysis. Ipapakita pa niya kung saan.
So in relation dun sa dissemination, sir, may tanong po dito from Ana Freda Romorosa. Aside from the webinar, siguro sir, ito po yung mga activities ninyo in extending PRISM. Ano pa daw yung mga activities in disseminating information and technology in state universities and to farmers directly as well regarding PRISM?
Regarding PRISM, yun hong mga regional technology transfer, gaya po yung currently ngayon na technology transfer nationwide, highly involved din ako ang PRISM doon. Sa mga regional DA regional offices po dahil talagang strong partners natin ang DA region at kasama din natin sila as PRISM data collector. We are conducting seminar dissemination of our results. Aside from that, we are conducting GIS training po. Anybody or any agency can request from us to conduct GIS training kasi parang ito yung prerequisite para pwede ka maging remote sensing expert, dapat expert ka sa GIS. So, in my assessment now, even remote sensing can be delivered by PRISM if requested for knowledge sharing.
Ayan, so they are open, FIRISE is very open naman
Yes,
with
po.
collaboration in different state universities
Yes,
and
po.
LGUs, mga MAU, just stop them, inform them, and they will be proactive in responding po sa inyo.
Yes
We
po,
will
basta
ask-
ang request po ay through Director John De Leon. Ganun talaga ang process. Kung meron tayong resources, isi-share po natin.
Okay. Sige po. Mamaya, we will request Sir Joey to plug kung ano pa yung kung saan kayo pwedeng mag-send ng mga request po ninyo. May question po, sir, from Facebook by Elmer Caballes. Ano po ang pinakamahalagang role ng PRISM for policy making in terms of national land use plan, especially for exploring new areas suitable for rice irrigation projects, and saying that areas dedicated for rice, forecast 10, 20, or 30 years, is strictly not convertible to other use in order to surpass national demand for rice?
Maganda yan. Actually, sa Kongreso, meron yatang nilulutong ganyan na yung land use. Dahil PRISM can present those data in map form, madali niyang maintindihan. So, as of now, we can show to them where are the plants grown in the village, nationwide, and when. Then, doon sa sinasabing land conversion, yun nga sinasabi, sa ngayon, hindi pa integrated sa PRISM yung land conversion assessment kasi mayroon kaming parang baby project na we are studying how to use remote sensing in estimating the land converted to other uses, from rice to other uses, or uh, uh, any use pwedeng nagamit ito na subdivision, ganyan, o kaya commercialization, o kaya naging fish pan siya. So yan yung isang objective nung project namin na magtatapos this year. And I hope by next year, ma-incorporate yung process sa PRISM. So may bagong data ang PRISM na yung areas converted from rice to other crops. At plagay ko, doon po tayo mga katulong sa mga policy makers.
Pero sir, just for follow-up, do you also get parang estimate, for example, there are areas nga na na-convert, rice areas na na-convert sa subdivision, yung mga ganon. And for this year, ito yung total rice production natin. With that less land area, rice area na naging subdivision, do you give like estimate of how less mababawas doon sa rice production natin sa Pilipinas?
Yeah, maybe kapag natapos yung sinasabi natin na yung land conversion na project.
Ayun.
Kasi sa ngayon, by using crop modeling, we can project some yields. Halimbawa, hindi pa tapos yung season, pwede na rin masabi kung anong maging yield ng isang area by using crop modeling with the aid of remote sensing. Kasi yung parang crop, other parts ng crop parameter, crop growth parameter ay nadetect ng satellite. Kaya makakapag-produce din siya ng spatial information, meaning hindi lang masasabi niya kung ilan ang magiging ani, maituturo pa niya kung saan manggagaling yung ani na yan. So, yan ho ang sa ngayon ay na-deliver ng PRISM. Pero yung how much area how much yield maybe affected by land conversion, tingnan natin kapag okay naman na ang model doon sa land rate ng land conversion, and we can pinpoint where those previously rice areas that converted into other purpose. Ma-estimate yung yield po nun. Kasi may dating record na yon sa amin. Oo,
Yes.
kasi maintaining our record from 2018, madali na po siyang ma-estimate.
Looking forward. Baka pag natapos
Yes,
yung part ng project na yun, sir, ay magwe-webinar kayo ulit kasi mukhang madaming interested.
Pwede.
Ayun.
Actually, kasama ko yung project leader nun ng land conversion ngayon. Nasa tabi namin.
Sir, i-clarify ko lang po ito na paulit-ulit ko kasi naririnig kanina yung lowland. May tanong kasi si Sir Rogelio Picard. Sir, is upland rice production farming included in PRISM? Pang clarification lang po siya.
Opo. Yun hong upland rice production, yun ang sinabi ko na challenge sa PRISM. Sa ngayon hindi siya na-detect. Dahil ho yung pag-detect natin ng lowland rice area ay may related siya doon sa agronomic flooding before the crop establishment. Dahil ang rice po ay parang tinatanim natin ng parang mais, hindi mo na siya pinaplood. Sa kasalukuyang process po natin ngayon na ginagamit ng PRISM ay hindi natin na-detect ang upland rice. We have tried in the past, and we are proposing maybe another project to detect that. Ang sabi ng mga remote sensing natin, baka pwede sa drone, ganon, drone. Ang gagamitin po natin. Drone remote sensing. Remote sensing pa rin siya pero iba lang yung data source niya, hindi siya satellite.
Sige, sir. Sir, ito po ay related pa rin sa pagde-disseminate nyo ng information about PRISM para lang po ma-aware yung ating mga viewers that FreeRice is doing the best they can in disseminating information, especially sa ating mga farmers. So, ang tanong po ni Sean Jade Lehas from Zoom din po, how does the challenge of computer illiteracy among farmers affect their ability to effectively utilize satellite-based rice monitoring system?
Yeah, kapag satellite-based monitoring system ang source ng information mo, tapos ang target mo ay yung farmer which is not computer literate, kailangan niya ng mediator. Hindi pwedeng hindi walang mediator yon. At ang potential na mediator dyan, yan yung agricultural extension worker. I'm sure maiintindihan at madaling maipaliwanag ng agricultural extension worker sa farmer yan. Pero yun nga, dahil computer literate siya, hindi talaga niya pwedeng magamit yung directly yung PRISM products. Pero kapag mediator po, yes, I believe, maipaparating po yan sa farmer.
Yung po yung role ng ating mga nasa LGUs.
Yes po, yes po.
So, sir, sa iba kasing mga mobile app, may mga Bisaya, may mga ganong language, tinatanong po nila kung may supports all languages din. I'm not sure kung particular ito sa Philippine na iba't ibang dialects or language na outside. Pero siguro, yung purpose mo na sa Pilipinas, may available ba na like yung map translated into Ilocano, yung mga ganyan po?
Yung maganda, actually maganda yan. Lahat ng namin ngayon, maps ay nasa English pa siya. So, kung magkakaroon tayo ng additional resources to do that, at saka chance, or any collaborator, for example, dahil malapit sa aming PRISM operation ang lahat ng DARFOs, if they will initiate, kasi yung ganong move, we will surely support them in translating PRISM products. Kasi kung kami ang dito ang daming kasing dialects, ano, so mas maganda siguro pag yung manggaling mismo doon sa mga regional offices yung initiative para mag-translate. So sa akin, kasi kung sa dito kung hindi kami bias, halimbawa kami ang mag-initiate, anong language unahin namin? For sure, pag inuna namin yung Ilocano, ano sabihin ng Visayas, magkokuan yan. Kaya kung doon nag-originate, siyempre, maging bias maging kami, maging level lang kami. We will also support all regions that will initiate to translate our data.
So at least noted po yan ng FearRise, no?
Yes.
And marami naman pong FearRise in different provinces that could help,
Yes po.
when it comes to this.
Sabay.
Sir, may tanong lang po ito regarding to sa ground truthing na ginagawa ninyo. Jamir Kalim from Jamir Kalim. Paano daw po ninyo vina-validate, especially yung very isolated and remote areas, so where ground validation is not possible? I think very challenging ito sa inyo. So kung may mga experiences kayo, you can share yung mga ganun na challenges.
Opo,
Paano daw po pag isolated and
Yes,
very
po.
remote areas, paano nyo ginagawa ang validation?
Minsan po, totoo yan na kahit na hindi siya remote, na may mga problem sa peace and order. So kahit gusto namin pumunta doon, hindi kami makapunta. Pero ang aming process mismo, coordination lang sa local governments. Pero kung talagang sinabi ng local government, hindi pwede, hindi ko kami nagpupumilit. Kasi sila yung nakakaalam kung pwede o hindi. So hindi ho lahat ng gusto naming area na puntahan ay napupuntahan namin sa ganong reason po. Pero we are doing our best to collaborate. At sila ho ang nagsasabi, yung mga locals doon, kung pwede kaming pumunta. Ngayon po, dahil yung kinukuha po naming grand validation ay sample lang yan. Actually, hindi naman talaga namin napupuntahan lahat ng farmers. Ay pwede ho kaming pumili ng parang proxy area doon. Na historically, pareho sila. Then, nagagamit din po namin yun. At ito yung maganda din siguro doon sa Kwan, yung advantage ng remote sensing kaysa doon sa ground, yung halimbawa nagsosurvey ka lang ng data. Ang remote sensing, nakikita ng remote sensing yan kasi hindi natin napupunta, napipicturean ni satellite. So meron tayong data na talagang coming from the ground. Kahit na hindi ho nakapunta yung doon, yung yung mga surveyor.
Mhm.
So, may data, hindi lang mag-ground truth syempre dahil safety first din naman po tayo.
Yes po. Yes
Ayun.
po. Pero dahil sa history nga na ay yung confidence ng technical staff dito ay tumataas na din po. Dahil hindi naman all the time kasi hindi pwede yun eh. May mga time lang naman na this time hindi pwede pero several times in the past ay napuntahan yun. Ganun po.
Sige sir, thank you. We will entertain 2 questions na lang po. Isa na po ito sa isa, then last na po yung susunod. Sir, from Sir John Patrick Sotero, since we have rainy and dry season, does PRISM have the feature of providing information regarding what variety of rice is suitable to plant in a particular area?
Masasabi lang po ng PRISM dito na maituturo ng PRISM kung saan ang mga flood prone. At meron din namang variety na flood prone adapted siya. Yun lang ang information na pwedeng maibigay ng PRISM. Advisory po.
Okay, advisory po kung ano yung
Areas.
areas.
Yung areas na flood prone siya. Yung madaling mabaha.
Our last questions, though mataas, sir, yung accuracy na nabanggit niyo kanina, 90 to 95%. May tanong pa po si Sean Jade Nicole Lehas, kung continuous pa, what advancement or future development are being explored to improve the effectiveness and precision of satellite-based rice monitoring systems?
Yeah, we are continuously collaborating with, for example, yung SARMAP, yung gumagawa ng remote sensing software namin. At lahat ng problems na na-encounter namin ay pinipidback namin sa kanila. So, yan, continuous. At yun na nga, na dati sa PRISM ay hindi namin naging objective in the past yung pag-estimate ng mga converted areas ay naging dahil sa operation nakita namin na talagang kailangan siya kaya nagkaroon. So yeah, ang challenge gaya ng challenge namin sa pag-detect ng rice area sa upland ay continuously namin pinifeedback yan at maybe hindi naman siguro titigil yung PRISM doon sa paano pa mapataas yung accuracy. Actually, yung accuracy ay medyo okay na. Yung problema na lang yung extent paano natin ma-detect pati yung mga upland rice area. Yan.
So thank you sir, kaya mahalaga po ang mga webinar, mga exchanges na ganito.
Yes,
so for improvement of the technologies that being developed para po sa ating mga farmers, especially po sa particularly for rice farmers So sir, thank you po and napaka-active ng participation ng ating participants. Maraming pong salamat ng mga tanong po na hindi na namin nasagot, but we will give Sir Jovi a copy of it. So maybe ito po ay pwedeng isend po sa inyo. So yung iba naman po ay nasagot na kasi medyo kapareho po siya ng mga naunang tanong. Salamat sir, talaga pong worth it po ang time ninyo. Ang dami niyo pong nasagot na tanong. So let us now proceed in awarding the Certificate of Appreciation for Sir Jovi and for entertaining lots of questions from us. So let me read the citation. College of Agriculture and Food Science, University of the Philippines, Los Baños, Laguna, Philippines, present this Certificate of Appreciation to Jovino L. De Jos for serving as the resource person on the webinar entitled PRISM, the first satellite-based nationwide rice monitoring system in Southeast Asia. During the Rice Science and Technology Webinar Series Part 2, held on 13 June 2023 via Zoom. Given this 13th day of June 2023 at the College of Agriculture and Food Science, University of the Philippines, Los Baños, Laguna, Philippines, signed Caps Dean Elpidio M. Agbisit Jr. Thank you, Sir Jovi. May gusto ka pa pong sabihin sa ating mga participants?
Ganun po, any queries po, inquiry tungkol sa PRISM operation, technology na ginagamit namin, request ng, halimbawa, yung sinabi kanina na GIS training, remote sensing, just course through the proper authority kay Dr. John De Leon. Then, yung home technical question, pwede nyo gamitin ng PhilRice Tech Center. That thing ho sa amin yun. Yung mga questions na hindi ko nasagot o yung mga follow-up question, just forward to me. At marami naman kami dito sa pricing unit na sasagot doon. At saka umahin nyo kung hindi ko gaanong na-explain technically yung mga technologies na ginagamit ng PRISM kasi hindi naman talaga ako remote sensing expert. Naging pinapamalaan ko lang ang PRISM from the start ng R&D niya hanggang sa ngayon. Kaya may alam din ako, pero kung kailangan po natin ng mas further discussion technically, please don't hesitate to do some follow-up query or request po para mapag-usap po natin yan together with our technical experts.
Thank you, Sir Jovi, and thank you for continuous na opening ng doors ng PhilRice in entertaining mga queries and needs no na ating mga participants, farmers, mga stakeholders. I would like also to thank Dr. Baiza. Medyo nawala lang po siya kanina. Thank you for moderating yung Q&A po natin kanina. So hope to see you on the next episode of the RISE Science and Technology webinar series on June 15, Thursday, 9 a.m. na po ito, hindi na po 2 p.m. Naiba lang po yung schedule natin today. Pero on June 15, 9 in the morning, where Mr. Aylon Oliver V. Capistrano will discuss pamamahala ng sustansya ng lupa at ang -1 element technique or kilala po ninyo na MOET and the PhilRice Leaf Color Computing or LCC application. So may mga related na mga questions po kanina dito. So attend po kayo sa June 15. And if you would like to receive an e-certificate, please answer the evaluation form. So naka-post po sa ating screen ang QR code at isasend din po sa atin ang link. Uulitin ko lang po, just a reminder that after po ng webinar series, makukuha ang certificate with CPD points at dapat po ay may attendance and evaluation every episode para ma-count po yun as 1 CPD point. For clarification lang po, halimbawa, naka-attend po kayo ng 3 na episode, so ang ilalagay po sa certificate ninyo ay 3 CPD points po. So kindly make sure na tama ang email address na ilalagay dahil automatic po na na-generate ang e-certificate from the evaluation form. So I hope na nasagot po yung mga tanong ng iba regarding CPD points. So to close the program, let us hear a message from the research coordinator of the Institute of Crop Science. May I call in Dr. Roslyn F. Paelmo. Dr. Paelmo?
Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, so I hope my audio is very clear in all our 450 audience. So at this juncture, we would like really to extend our gratitude to our resource speaker, Mr. Jovino Jovi Elda Jos, for the enlightenment on the Philippine Rice Information System, first satellite-based nationwide rice monitoring system in Southeast Asia. So indeed, this PRISM is an evidence that we are really moving forward towards improving our rice-based technology. This particular technology emphasizes on the use of rice crop simulation model, remote sensing, and ground truthing. And likewise, with this, we were able to be provided with near real-time data, especially during the onset of environmental disturbances so that we can minimize occurrences of risk and damages on our rice production area, being an early warning system. And likewise, it was emphasized that yield and spatial projection is made possible by the use of PRISM. Moreover, this particular webinar is made possible through the CAF's ad hoc webinar committee chaired by our Associate Dean for Research, Dr. Leah Fernando. And therefore, we would like to request applause from our audience for our resource speaker, the men and women behind this particular webinar. Now, what are the important lessons that we have learned in this particular webinar? Firstly, I'm so amazed with the presence of 450 audience. Therefore, in this new normal, we continue really to provide this service at CAFs. So many would learn, and there would also be the building of network. In fact, I would like to recognize we also have an international participant coming from China. See? It's also very glaring that from the presentation of Sir Jovi, there are already more than 3,000 users. So our 450 audience, we now use the data from Prism and will be included in their statistics. And the more we use their data, the more we can have practical application, not only in the field of its practice in rice production, in research, but as well in the academic world. So it's also very nice that we have learned that the isolated rice production areas are already reachable through the use of remote sensing embedded at Prism. It's also noteworthy to mention that the 92 to 95% accuracy of the technology is made possible, as emphasized by Sir Jovi, by the implementation of a multidisciplinary team. Therefore, in technology development, #cooperation, collaboration. Nonetheless, where is our trajectory, our way forward? It was also discussed that there is still on upland. It's a promising need for Prism for other crops, okay? And as mentioned earlier, land use is being worked out already by the team of Sir Jovi. And hopefully, this would provide important data to our policymakers as well. No? And still, learning is a continuous process. Therefore, we should continuously do research on the impact of climate change on our rice production system. And we do not want to marginalize anybody in our stakeholders. Therefore, there's also the consideration, may we also have the chance to develop farmer-friendly applications, and especially if its utility can be extended even offline. And there's also the concern that we know this rice production area. We know that there are threats to land production area like land conversion and land use cover change. We can also establish really the niche for rice production by determining land use suitability. And it's also nice that in the near future, we can have our present outputs in the local dialect. Nonetheless, adoption concern is the primary limitation of technology. And this is also being addressed through the offering of the different capability building programs of the team of Sir Jovi. We just have to contact them and ask for assistance. And with this one, we thank everybody, especially our resource person, the great men and women of the ad hoc committee, and our audience for your time, effort, and active participation in this particular webinar, and see you again in future webinar offered by the College of Agriculture and Food Science. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Dr. Paelmo, for encouraging our participants to participate more, no, sa ating mga future webinar series, no. So to receive updates of our upcoming events, follow us on the Facebook and YouTube channel of the College of Agriculture and Food Science. So gusto po namin i-post ulit ang evaluation QR code sa mga iba po na may, ayan po, naka-flash po sa screen. And isa-send din po ulit sa chat and comment section ang link. So I hope na kayo po ay nakapag-fill up niyan. Whether you have watched in Zoom or Facebook or even in YouTube of CAPS, as long as you have fill up yung ating attendance sheet and evaluation form, kayo po ay bibigyan ng e-certificate. So again po, ang certificate for the CPD points ay ibibigay pa po yun sa end po ng ating webinar series. So we would like to thank and congratulate the persons behind this webinar series. Thank you to the webinar ad hoc committee. And of course, sa inyo pong lahat, sa participants, ito po ay posible dahil po sa inyo. We hope to see you again sa June 15 for another informative episode. Share our webinars sa mga kapamilya, kaibigan, and also sa mga estudyante. This ends the program. Let us all be responsible, eat well, and be healthy. Again, this is Claire P. Sandro. Thank you for joining us. God bless you and have a great day.